thanks. So first I take the timing because at times I overexcited about the new stuff. So I take timing so that I don't overshoot things. Okay, yeah. So first thing first, I want to say thanks to everyone in this session who are talking about the agentic AI sticks, and I really appreciate for just not the audience, but also the people, the organizer who was taking a lot of effort to make this entire two different tracks for different people. So it's really appreciate the organizer, Asmita, Sandeep, Kunj, and Sid as well. Okay, so I will talk about something which is from the ground. I'm talking about the thing which I have done for the customers and for the users. So all things I'm talking about is in general from technical things which I have discovered and resolved. So it's also everything from the best practices standpoint. It's all things which I have experienced and also want to share with you guys on that. Okay? So first thing first, we talk about uh, Azure AI, the RAG 101, and we talk about other stuff as about the knowledge bases and other stuff, and how things works in general. I have a coding experience, but thing is, right, I don't have time to show the Python code. So I will share all the things in my repo, and then you can have a look on that. So I think much easier to understand things from the UI because simpler to show rather than the Python code. I will share the Python code as well as well. Okay. The most important part is about the observability and the guardrails, which is something very important. So I will talk about that thing in general also, right? So first thing first about RAG. I think a lot of people last couple of years talking about RAG. I won't take that time. I think a lot of people are even today this session is sharing about the RAG. I will talk about the basics so that we talk about the main meeting potatoes, the main important part, which is important for to understand. Okay. So I just want to share with you that I mean, everyone is talking about agents, right? But the main crux is that the agent should be useful if at all can be used for the business context. Okay. So I will give one example of a example. This is one of the just like Contours or one of the great company about the creating agent for the shoppers, and we find products. We can do designs. We can do inventory documents, everything we can do that here. But the main thing is where your data is coming from, right? That is very important, right? When you talk about the regulated industries like healthcare, you talk about defense, talk about financial institutes, the data is a paramount of importance, right? So we are talking about the regulated industries, we're talking about the defense, talking also about the manufacturing industries where the audit and the compliance is super important. Okay, so we're talking about that. Now, I just want to share with you that the user context, right? So when there's something called as the RAG. I mean, maybe knowing it, I think many years, I think people are using, 3 years, not many years, 3 years, people are using a RAG, which is called as retrieval augmented generation. Okay, and you get a data from somewhere, right? And data is either coming from your corporate data or from your files, which you can use it, right? So think like if I want to have some use case or some questions want to ask, right? Then the user asks questions, then goes to a search. It could be Azure search, could be any other search, and then it will go to the LLM, right? So that is something which is in general what RAG actually entails. And then we'll talk about things in general about the scope as well, what it does, right? So when you do the data, right, data can be come in different shapes and sizes, right? So there are 3 places you can get data. So one is very simple one. I'm going to a very simple example so that you can able to understand. One way is to get the data coming from the file search. In my demo, I talk about file search so that you can appreciate that and easy to do it. right? The good thing about file search, although the data size is lesser, but you have your enterprise data you can put there. So which means that your files, your search control, the automated retrieval, the business data, and grounded data will be same place. Which means when I upload some kind of PDF documents, okay, I put some office documents, okay, put any kind of content, right? That would be easable to search, right? So we're not coming to public data, not ChatGPT we're looking for, we're looking enterprise corporate data, right? That is super important. So and user can easily use it. Okay. The second part is about the automate retrieval, right? So I want to have the data to be relevant, right, in chunks. Now I'll give an example of chunks later on, but when you go in depth later, then it's easy for getting the LLM to be getting data in chunks, so that it's faster and easier and more accurate, right? And the third part is about the integration, right? The integration I mentioned to you, we can go from a Foundry, Azure AI Search, or we can go for maybe file search. Any way you can do it, right? But it's actually coming from directly native coming from Foundry, yeah, Microsoft Foundry I'm talking about. And that is very important because when the user search or content, it should be coming directly coming from your data source and cited responses. So example, I ask a question about migration in SharePoint. This is everyone know about SharePoint, right? So when I ask question about migration, it's easy for me to understand because that question is coming directly from my file shares or coming from my Azure AI search, right? So I have some kind of questions which I will show in my demo as well, right? So it reduces the hassleization and also your data should be perfect size. So your data should be always in right shape, right? That is important, right? So instructions, your descriptions for the agents are super important. Creating a demo, uh, creating a chatbot is, I will say, simple. But when you have some enterprise data where security and compliance and guardrails, then it becomes enterprise ready agent, right? So our demo is all talk about the enterprise agent, so that the data actually is coming from the enterprise size, right? That is what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, again, I mentioned there are two ways you can go. You can go file search. The other one slightly more better is called as Azure AI search. Exactly same method. The only thing is right that the size of content is much larger. You can have maybe terabyte of data when using Azure AI search, and you can use it. Okay. You just want to give you a context, right? If you are testing out and you created a rack application with AI as a search, please delete everything because I was testing out and then I forgot and then I have to be $300, $400, and then I have to USD and it's like I have to pay to Microsoft just for testing purposes. So Azure AI search, I mostly, if you want testing, you just delete your resources. But for file search, they have no other issues. So that's why I'm using file search because I can run my files the demo for next 2-3 months. I won't be charged because I'm doing a demo. But Azure AI search is slightly more. It has a lot of content there. It has a lot of moving parts. So that's why Azure AI search is much better in terms of enterprise. But for demos, I will still using file search, right? I will show in the demo as well, right? Again, I'm talking my experience, which I was seeing by practices. Okay. The other things I want to share, and this is if somebody is going for AI certifications, where there is your AI AB 730 or going to AI 103, these questions will come majority, right? So I'm just sharing a preparation. If you go for these exams, AI 103 and also for the AP 17330, these are questions will be there from there. These kind of questions about the search, AI search, file search, and the questions there, right? Hybrid search is there as well. Now, just want to understand that you have seen SharePoint. I started my career with SharePoint, so I mean, a lot of people know about SharePoint, so I just want to give the context. In SharePoint, what happens is that we use the keyword search. So, example, SharePoint migration, right? These keywords are there. So I can just do it, no problem. The problem with that is that if I make a small spelling mistake, right, I put some other mistake, typo, then my keyword search won't work properly. That is the issue with SharePoint. I mean, not now, initially, right? So for when you go for AI agents, right, you have to use both. You have to use why hybrid. So the user can stable search for the actual words, and also you can use a vector as well, right? So we use from something called as a fusion and recanting model. Don't think about these are models only, but for you to understand these particular concepts are super important. The keyword search, and also the vector search. Okay, so that's why you're able to understand what I mean by that. Like I mean, it is too much information. Let me give an example, right? Very simple example. I'll give you an example for that. Okay. Okay, so this is the keyword search, right? You have seen this in SharePoint and other applications, right? So I want to search for that, and then I go for maybe I want to search for maybe this phrase, and then full text. I can do description. All the content will be there, and if I search for this exact keyword, I will get the information. Okay, that is something we do. Yeah, and they use an algorithm called as BM25 algorithm. So don't worry about algorithm. Nobody asked these questions. Not just I want to give you information that they're using this keyword BM algorithm for keyword search. Okay, and you get relevance for that. You can see there is relevance, right? So example, I put this thing. So if I search for foot, it's not clear. Yeah. So I look for 25 foot, then I get more relevance, right? Proper number, I get it. Okay, that is called as a keyword search. Exact words need to be given. Okay, the other context is called as a vector search. Okay, when I started searching for that vector search, I could not understand what the vector search, right? But again, because I have a I love Bollywood movies, so I actually try to simulate how the chunks works, right? So just want to understand, right? We have a query now. Change the things. So I'm looking for a query called as a migrate SharePoint or online content to another tenant. Okay, there could be some spelling mistake, right? So vector search is something. If you remember, a user query, and then this is a user query, right? So it will get embeddings. Now, what is embeddings and what is a vector search? So if you've seen a movie called as Gajani, right? So Gajani in Amir Khan, right? What happened to him is that he was have some incident happened, and then he forgot his memory, right? So he took photos, he put tattoos as everything, right? So that he can remember. After maybe 1 hour, he forgot. So he take a refer to his notes, look at his maybe tattoos, or maybe some notes without photos for that. So chunks are similar like in that context, right? So your photos is your chunks, your keynotes, your tattoos are your notes and chunks in that way, right? So what I want to share with you is that when you have a LLM, right? LLM, and now talking technical stuff, right? In LLM, we have something context window, right? Just like Shahrukh, American is a very content windows of 1 hour. So content windows for LLM is very short as well, right? So maybe now we have 1 million tokens, context windows and all. But if you put the maybe 100 um, files, 100 GBF files or huge files, the content video will overflow and will forget just like America happened. So what we have to do chunks and data. So example, one PDF document, then to chunks, maybe one document for HR document, one for IT, one for, so chunks will be much faster, much cheaper, and much efficient in that way. But this is something which you can able to understand that how the chunking works in the things. And this is before the LLM hits the thing. So that's why RAG patterns happens. We have to chunk in data. We have lot of data, chunk into specific things, then just go to LLM and then get a better thing. Now you can do everything in one big context window, but thing is that the performance and the efficiency is not so good. So chunking is always required for that. Okay, one of the example I want to share with you on that. Okay, let's go for this and then give it some search for now. Earlier we searched about the keyword search. Now we talk about vector search. Okay, so in vector search we thinking about the shape and online search, and then we also have vector search also with that. Now I mentioned to you this in SharePoint in LLM we have a different kind of methodologies. We can have fusions or re-ranking. Just forget about that. But your final result when the question asked by the user will be like that. Give it a list of the migration, everything. So it's much easier to understand, because now all your keyword search and vector search are combined before the LLM goes. When LLM goes, then it goes to this particular content, and the user will get the result for that. Much easier, much simpler for that. Okay. So this is the way it will work for that. So I get an example because SharePoint is a lot of people understand, so I go for that. So one thing to understand that when you're working for RAG solutions, you can work for multiple solutions. You can work for I mentioned here about Azure AI search, file search. You can have SharePoint online search. You can have block storage. You can have OneLake, which you can see. So very different way you can able to do RAG patterns. Yeah, one of the solution in my demos I'm giving to you is using the file search. Okay, now Aroh, it's too much information. Can we give me a demo how it works so you can get the idea? Let's see how it works. Okay, let me give you the content. Let me just close this one and I show you the actual demo here. Okay, yeah. So I've already created something for you because it takes some time. But let me give you the gist for that. So I'm creating a solution. Okay, let me just unshare something because I want to share something that is very important, and then you can get an idea. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so in the RAG pattern, right, there are many ways. I think if you go for interviews, right, the most important questions they will ask is about the RAG pattern. There are multiple ways to do questions about RAG patterns, but question they ask about the RAG patterns. There are other ways also, human in the loop questions they will ask. Yeah, but to give a questions, they have there are a lot of people ask questions about the RAG. This is general, both from business side and also technical side. Okay, so what I'm trying to show to you is I'm creating a project, and then we create starting from scratch. Okay, I'm not going to show the Python because Python will take some time, right? So let's do everything to UI. Okay, so let's go to create a new project here. Okay, and my project want to do what to do is I'm creating a new project here for agent, right? And then I could do tech, yeah, and then call it project. Okay, again, same thing, like if you have you created resources into Azure, exactly same way we can do it, right? So one thing to think, right, I always follow the student central, because when I started my starting with the AI solutions, the student center was always available in creating new resources, whether it's vision solutions or creating anything. So student central never failed me. So I just want to create this one as a, you can use other solutions, but I'm very comfortable with the student central thing. So what we're trying to do, just give a recap. We are creating a project, and our data center is student central, and our subscription, because I have two subscriptions, and I'm creating a again, creating group also takes some time. So I'm creating a simple project to show you that how the agentic AI RAG pattern, there are two ways we can create. One is agentic RAG, and also it's a classic RAG. What I'm showing to you is agentic RAG, because agentic RAG has better features. I will show you later on that, but we see the things. So step one, creating a project. I created a simple project called as a Pune Tech project RAG. I put RAG here. Okay. and then in few minutes the project, not agent, project will be created. Okay, it takes some time. I could just further that. So what's happening behind the scenes? It's creating resources at the data student center data center. Okay, creating the things inside, and all the things within a few minutes will be given to us, and then we can just manipulate, creating a rack pattern, creating a file search, creating those content will be some much simpler using everything using the UI interface. Okay, so that is something we'll be doing. Okay, the best thing is that Microsoft Foundry is an agent factory. Thing about when you make a lot of products, right? We can make agents. So in Microsoft Foundry is an agent factory. Creating agents, but also help to create guardrails, creating a security in workplace, every place. So I always recommend to show to you that how the Foundry platform can able to create your apps and your place called as Foundry system. Okay, so I'm with this. Okay, and then so let me just refresh it. Yeah, so I have this Pune project here. Okay, you see project here. So I just click on this one, right? So the project here. I've created a lot of things, and just click on this. So what happening right now? We created a project. We are not creating the agent. So step 2 will be creating an agent for us. Okay, yeah. Now I mentioned to you that there's 2 ways we can create the agents. We can create agents using the user interface, or you can using the code, right? Actually, my initially started with the code. The problem with I face is that at times, because the libraries are getting changed every time, so I'm getting a lot of errors. But I fixed it just yesterday morning. So I thought like it's better to show everything using user interface. Okay. Okay. So let's create an agent called as customer support. Okay. And you'll get some idea that how the end-to-end solution will work when you get a simple user interface for you. One thing to understand when you're creating a playground, I'll show you, which is a support agent. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just creating a simple agent here. Okay, yeah, and there are 2 ways you can create. Again, 2 ways you can create using Foundry. And if you have a developer team, you can put hosted in some other place as well, right? Maybe you put in your local, right? You can have local third party because maybe security is important for you. But now Foundry is super safe and best to use it because you can do everything. And what I'm showing you, if I create everything from local, it will take 2-3 hours to create the agent, right? But here, within 45 minutes, I can show you everything, right? So this is the beauty of Microsoft Foundry and to Microsoft, how they make life easy for us. Okay. So what I'm doing, because I'm checking the capacity now, you can see ChatGPT 5 because I've started my base with ChatGPT 5 for my demos, right? So if you see ChatGPT 5 is there because already deployed it previously. If you're not done it, then you have to create your model. So this is going to save our time and your time as well. Okay, so step 1 is creating a project. Step 2 is creating the agent right now. Okay, now it takes some time because what happens that although it takes some time, but thing is right, then you get the end-to-end solution that how from start I able to create my user interface. That's something important. This patient, and you will get this in. Okay. I don't know why it takes so much time, but it mostly takes some time like that. What I will do to save our time, maybe I don't know, it's still taking time. It's done. So I mostly use ready-made the things here. Okay. Now, what I want to show to you that because I want to show you actually I think that yeah, Stephen Samuel. So just assume that this is the actual working one, right? So what's most important for you to understand is that when you're making an agent, the most important aspect is to use the instructions of the agent. This is super important for the things. Now, what is instruction? What are descriptions for that? I want to share with you that when you make a Copilot Studio instructions, right, you want to like you are a useful agent, right? Okay. I think this issue with my internet. 1 second. That's why it's giving error. But I think today my internet has an issue. Yes, correct. I think it's shifting. Yeah, this is the one. I think so because I click on that. Okay, this is our Pune agent, right? This is the thing, right? Now, I want to ask you because we create from everything from scratch, right? Step one, creating a project. Now, step two is creating a agent, right? What's happening right now, right? Let me show you what I mean with this. Yeah. So, what most important aspect for any agent is instruction. This is the soul of the agent. Why I'm saying soul is one of the most important part. Why it's so important? It's because when we make an agent, right, if you don't give right information to the agent, you got haywire, right? So in my instructions, right, I'm putting that this is a agent is a just like Contoso is a support agent. You are support agent and you are answering questions by all the users inside. You give your answer accurate and professional. So what I'm telling you is my role as an agent. If you work on the Copilot Studio thing, right, always you have a context should be clear, right? So we must have a input, output, responsibility. Everything will be there in the prompt. So in the prompt engineering and content engineering, you must have these things be clear. Okay. In this responsibility, you are giving this information. So I'm giving this information to you, and always using file search. I'm not done file search, giving the context, right? Never ever giving information from general knowledge from internet. No, yeah. So I'm giving very strict information to my instructions. Don't do anything. I always use file search for your tool for your information. Okay, and the most important thing is the grounding rules. Right, grounding is like if you don't ChatGPT, it can ask some wrong answers. Right, yeah. But here, when you put the grounded data, which means we are putting all the content using our file search tool inside. I show you the file search tools. So what I'm trying to do is that you always using your file search tool. Any questions you ask, you keep the answer using this file search documentation. You must never think about for memory from AI knowledge. No, very, very important, right? Yeah. And in my things, everything questions are coming from documentation, which I'm providing to you, right? So these are the questions which so I have provided the role, I putting the do and also don'ts in my instructions. So this is a proper prompt, prompt engineering kind of content you can provide it, right? And then because I'm putting a lot of questions about multiple documents, then you should search for all the documents inside the context. Example, compare the solution about the AI 901 course, 103 course, what's the compare about what is that? Everything should be covered. And always put the citations, right? That's very important. So in my content, right, what I'm going to do, the new search which I'm doing, right, I just put, yeah, this is my instruction, Pune 1, right? This is instruction I put in here. Why? This is important. So I put all the things, if I don't do this thing, do this thing, and this is my information. Right? This is so step 3 is instructions. Step 4 is to give grounded data. Where is my data? My grounded data is here. I'm putting this data, I'm putting the tools, And you see, I mentioned to you earlier in my PPT that you can go for file search, you can go to Azure AI search, you can go to Fabric, all the things, but I'm just using this one, right? AI search is good, but it's very costly. Yeah? So I go for this, I click add to, and then I put index. Anything I can put. So this is the index, right? I mentioned the index, right? If somebody asks questions about the refund, then you give it. Can you give me your money back? Another question, right? It's not a keyword search. It's actually somebody can ask question in a different way. So that's why we have vectors. So I browse the data. I have some questions I put there. Okay, and this is all the questions about my data. These are all my data here. So what I'm trying to do, step 2, I'm putting a grounded data here. Right? This is a super important part because this is the way you can start working on that. Okay, so I click on that. I just already there. And let me show the real one. Okay, so this is a thing which I'm trying to find my model inside. It's uploading the content. Okay, so this is the thing. So what I'm doing, I'm going to show step by step, then you can get the idea from there. Show this thing. When my internet is weak, then I have a demo. That is okay. Yeah, it's okay. That's not. I just want to see this later. I think it's my. Second is just want to have a display. Give me 1 second. I have a backup also. I just want to give you. I want to show the live. I want to show the live. So I'm just switching to the actual real copy, which I'm working on that copy on that, right? So let's go and do it. Then you can get the idea. Yeah, I will need some time. Let me. I think this will wait for 5 seconds. Okay, so I have a backup because I will always take a screenshot in case I'm using Word. Okay, let me show to you get an idea on that how it works, right? So what I'm going to show to you is that okay, I'm showing you is a backup because some issue with my internet, right? And when it's resume, I will start working on that, right? So what I've done is I have configured the agent, right? And this agent I put in my description and description what I provide with that, right? Instruction I already showed you how it works. Most important part for any agent instructions and the configuration of that. Okay. Now, once I've done this instruction right, I can add some kind of starter prompts, right? So most important is starter prompts are not a logic for the for the agent, but it can work on for your form, right? So example, I put some logic inside, and then you can see I think these starter prompts inside, and then show to me. Okay, so I can also pick a model in my example because I already picked at least 2, 3 models inside, and you see a lot of models I've tested out. So just want to show to you that you can add as many models, but I will look for a slightly low-grade model like Mini or some other things, because our demo purposes are quite simple. It's not very complex. So look for something simpler models, right? Okay. And most important part is that when you do any configuration, you can actually able to configure the reasoning. It should be low and by default is medium, but I changed to low because our demo are not very complex. Example, right? That will see, right? So one thing is that when you any change you do, it will actually create a new version in the AVJ. This is same thing if you know about shape. SharePoint has a versioning as well of this thing. Exactly in Power Apps, Power Automate, everything Power Automate also have a versioning. So agent also have versions. So just want to tell you that it's important to take note of that because you notice it. Okay, let me see whether my agent is working. Oh, something happened. It's okay. Let's go back to the thing. I'm sorry, guys. It's something which my luckily I have a backup of that. Okay. So most important is the instruction that is showed to you, right? No issue. Just want to show you that I put all the content here. Okay. And then once you done the content, right? Don't do this thing and all. Then it will give you all proper information. Okay. All right. And then you click on save, and then you start do testing of your agent, right? So example, what questions maybe I ask the agent that can you please tell me any questions of the agent, right? I'm just putting the started prompts, right? These are my started prompt. The agent will give me all the information on that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So now you can see, right? Now agent is working. So all the thing I've done. So I'm doing some testing on the agent. So my first agent testing is give this information, and then soon I will give this particular information, right? So my question is that please compare your AI 103 with the DP courses. Give me all the target audience and the requested and the hands-off lab required for this. So what happening right this now in my instructions, I'm asking the user what you are asking these questions, and then give a draft of that. So audience will be always this will be target audience or AI builders, Python builders, or for the DP 500 will be data engineers, right? Same thing. Now, what I can do, I can ask a question. Step test 2, I can do which course talk about RAM. Okay. Okay. So I'm just asking a simple question. Everything is grounded inside, right? Now, this is something, right? I can ask some other questions as well. Now, see, I have a typo still able to give answers, right? That's the beauty of the vector search, right? If you use keyword search, it won't work. But because I'm using vector search, it will work properly. Now, in my instructions, I have, because if I fail the exam, nothing coming from there, right? I'm not putting any instructions in my content, right? So what happens if I fail AI 103 exam? Now, this is a tough question, right? Because my instructions have no, but I told my instructions that if you don't know, don't reply, right? You see? Now, because this failing content of my exam thing is not in my instructions, you see, I can't assist you. See, sorry, I can't assist you. This is very important because in my guardrails, I'm also telling you can't do it. So I put guardrails inside as well. Very important for that. Okay. Now I still have for 4 minutes. I can just want to show something very important. It's for the guardrail part. So guardrail is not related to your logic, right? So let me go to here. Let's go to my observability part, right? So why we have agents need observability, right? Observability means that you must be knowing all the information. So if you know workflows, right? Workflows are disseminated. They know everything, right? Step by step. Power Automate, Syntax workflows, you know everything. They're predictable, repeatable, no issue with that. But AI agents are never deterministic, right? You can ask same question again, same different answer will be there. So that's why the thing is, right, that we have to do more things. Think about a car. Car have an engine, right? If you know about an airplane has a engines in there, right? But in the car, you have something called as the speedometer. How much oil is there, right? So that kind of a guardrail is there to help you in that, and that's why the airplanes and the cars have some kind of a fine tuning there. AI agents also have in Foundry right now, right? So I can show you that what I mean by that is that most important that if you don't have any observability, right, then it's very difficult to track, and that's why many companies are not very are taking high strides to go to the agent for adoption is not that high because they don't know how to trace it, right? Let's do the tracing part and then we can work on that, right? So let's work on that and I show you the other part, right? Demos, everything I will show you later on. I mean, the PPT I shared with you, let me start, right? Now, one part, if I go to the tracing, right? In the tracing, what happened is, right, it will give me all the information, all my responses coming from the agent, right? How much time will it take? How much time it will take? So I think I have to screenshot of that, right? So let me place it here. Okay, you see. So this is the screenshot I took it earlier, right? So when you this is the thing about same agent I'm working on, right? So if I go for the agent, maybe the CFO is asking it how much time, how much token taking, right? Executing. Now, using this particular tracking, I can able to know that this is my invoke agent, this is my file search, right? And this is the chat, right? And I can see the duration, how much time it take. Now, maybe some agents taking longer time. Now, using with this kind of tracing capabilities, we can know that which agent and which particular tool is taking most time, and then you can fine tune it, right? Very important, right? Same thing in the tokens. If the CFO or CIO is asking that Aroh is taking so much time, help me to check why it takes so much time, tokens. Then you can able to know about tokens for that. This is not about agent, it's about the observability and also about the guardrails we are putting here, right? If the agent is taking so much time, maybe we give a faster agent or maybe a model, and then maybe speed will be faster. It depends on the use case for that, right? So token used is also important. Input output, because it's just not input output, it's also about overall, right? So if my token is taking 1 million tokens, then I have to change and to ask my organization to work on that, something on this, right? So that is about the observability standpoint. Okay, loading is sort of with my net today, so not a problem with that. Okay, and the other things is about the guardrails, right? So in the guardrails, what we can do is that in the guardrails we can have you see you can assign a guardrail and create a new guardrail. What guardrail actually means is that it's not about agent, it's about the security of your agent, right? If you work on Copilot or work on any other things, right, you always have some kind of security concerns, right? So think about the jailbreak, right? You are bypassing the AI safety things, right? Somebody put some prompt, the hacker, and then it will break entire, right? That is very important, right? This is input model. Same thing about content safety as well. So guardrail also work on that. One thing to take note is that the guardrails works before the model hits the things, the LLM, right? So jailbreak, the content safety is just done before the it hits the LLMs, right? So if somebody put any injection prompt injection or content safety, it won't hit the LLM. It just go beyond, and then LLM won't be impacted at all. However, the other one is called as a protected materials. Somebody, you know about YouTube, right? If somebody copy a YouTube video and send to another channel, you get a strike. But the YouTube still show you, but your video, the audio will be removed. So this is called as a protected material. In that. So these are the few features through which the safety and security will be controlled at the not at the agent level, but as a security level as such, right? This is something which we can easily do it. Okay. Let me see whether my yeah, this thing is. You see here. Again, this guardrail is for security and compliance part, right? So that is something which is important to take note. It doesn't impact your directly doesn't impact the agent, right? So example for this customer support agent, right? I want to have a annotation, right? Maybe want to do it right, or I want to have community things inside. I can do that one. Or I want to have something called as a sensitive information, right? I want to do for maybe, um, yeah, maybe I want to block the email address of my customers, or I want to do Swift or for my government agencies in fact, right? These are the things which are protected directly inside your agent layer, yeah, before agent layer. These are something which we can easily do it inside. Okay. So these are something which we can able to do it, and file search, the memory I can just want to show you. So main context here is I want to show you in this particular thing is that the customer agent is actually giving you all answers, things there, but the safety point of view, the guardrails is at this point of time. Any enterprise customers, right? If you don't have any guardrails, the people, a project won't be landed for sure for that, because security compliance is the most important part for enterprise customers, right? Small customers, I won't talk about that because even small customers need guardrails. But I think Microsoft already provides some basic guardrails. You can see here, basic guardrails here, Microsoft provide. You can go for that, but I still go for something which is safety and security. Think about healthcare, think about defense, think about hospitality in this space, finance. They need guardrails for that. Okay, so this is my demo. If any questions you can ask, please. I just because today, sorry, some issue with my internet, but any questions you can ask me. Yeah. Ispata, anyone have questions so far on that?
No. Thanks, Aroh. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. We really enjoyed your session and we learned a lot also. And we really appreciate your time to share your experience with us. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye. So with that, we would like to invite our next speaker, Srishti Shah and Bhushan Gawale.